Wemby is the first perfect big man that's ever created. Can shoot, play defense, he's a great team player. He's a joy to watch.
Talking reckless, must be out his mind. X him off the checklist.
The Green Reaper, Victor! Oh my goodness!
Someone shut him down.
Welcome back to NBA Today, presented by Häagen-Dazs.
It's probably fitting, right, that the only players with 200 points, 100 rebounds, 40 blocks in their first 10 career postseason
The Admiral.
games. Yeah, they're both number one picks for the Spurs.
Legends.
The Admiral, David Robinson, Victor Wembanyama, and Wemby did it despite leaving before halftime in two of those games. I caught up with Victor Wembanyama, and he talked about how his offseason, it actually shaped what we're seeing from him today, including his trip to China, where he trained with Shaolin monks, the advice he received from Hakeem Olajuwon, and his quest for playoff success.
To get into the playoffs is something we are built for, and I am built for.
Victor Wembanyama!
Coming back from what I came back from, it's the best example that life is short, career is short. There's no time to waste.
It sends the Spurs to the playoffs. Let's go!
Spurs forward Victor Wembanyama has taken giant strides this season in his quest to be the next great championship big man in San Antonio.
Wembanyama with the rejection.
It's hard to believe it was only 15 months ago he was diagnosed with deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot in his right shoulder, which left his future in question.
That moment, I remember clearly, it was 5 minutes of total breakdown, probably, obviously crying and sadness and maybe a feeling of the fragility of life and health. Basketball wasn't my priority all of a sudden, as it had been for years and years in my life. I needed time to find myself again and then to get better. For me, a situation I don't like is not really knowing what's best, or the fear of maybe going in the wrong direction.
Were you ever worried that you would not be able to play again in those 5 minutes?
Yes, but it wasn't justified. Live from China, on the Great Wall itself, having an amazing time.
Wembanyama's response was unique. He took the summer to travel abroad, stopping in China for a retreat to realign his mind, body, and spirit.
Incredible scenery. The temple, of course, obviously the traditional millennium-old buildings just at the bottom of the mountain in the forest. We meet a few monks, and they're very social, and they have phones and stuff. We were like, interesting, let's see how it goes, but I'm not sure it is where I want to spend these next weeks in my summer, because it's an important summer. But so we eat a few things, vegetarian. And after that, they go to show us a demonstration, a show of what they do, of Kung Fu. Let's just say that 30 seconds in, we were convinced. All the doubts we might have had before, long gone.
Victor bought in. He shaved his head and stayed at the Shaolin Temple for 2 weeks, waking up at 4 a.m. to work with monks, learning the ways of meditation and Kung Fu.
Were you ever afraid that your hair wouldn't grow back?
Nah, it's one less thing to worry about. No hair, no worry. After that, it was serious practice and total dive into the culture and the traditions and the practice of Kung Fu.
What was the thing that you said, I want to be able to do, that looked like?
Oh, the backflip.
You wanted to be able to do a backflip.
Yeah.
Can you do a backflip?
Almost broke my neck a couple times trying, but...
All right, so the backflip is what you wanted to learn to do. What did you actually learn to do?
So what I learned is some types of meditation, obviously some Kung Fu classic movements. I learned some types of jumps and kicking jumps, which is surprisingly hard because it's lots of movements. And first you have to learn to do it the right way, and then you have to learn to do it quick and strong, which makes it twice as hard.
Okay, slow down.
Outside of the culture, because there was many things about Chinese medicine, you know, were really interesting. But my biggest takeaways was some things I did over there overloaded certain muscles in my body that were not used to this kind of efforts, and I think it made them stronger. I think it made them more resilient.
After his trip to China, Wembanyama returned to the States to take Hakeem Olajuwon's offer to help develop his game.
So we met at the Final Four, and right away he was very friendly, you know, and he told me right away that he wanted to share what he had, what he knew. Rarely in my life I've learned so much in just a few days.
What did you learn?
All the footwork stuff, things that look easy but aren't, but he makes them easier, you know, and just some advice that comes with experience, and nothing can replace experience.
What was the best piece of advice that he told you?
That you don't need to wait to win, you know, like you can do it right away. You're a good player enough. If you're that good, you're gonna make your team win regardless.
Hakeem was right. Pairing the lessons of the Shaolin with the teachings of an NBA Hall of Famer, Wembanyama complemented his perimeter presence with dominance in the paint and has led the Spurs back to title contention.
The first player to unanimously win the Hakeem Olajuwon Trophy as the Defensive Player of the Year.
We're getting closer to what Spurs basketball means, where everybody is involved, everybody can make things happen. For some years, it's been very important for me to develop my body into what it can be and like fulfill the potential as much as possible. And it was just the whole motor all summer, and I think it's gonna be for the rest of my career.
Victor Wembanyama doing alien things.
Victor! Oh my goodness!
Video game.
I could listen to Victor and sort of his process all day. Why are we showing you this stat, though? That despite Wemby's success against the Thunder, one of his 4 games without a block this season, it was against OKC. Now, he played 23 minutes off the bench. Why we're showing you this is because the Spurs still beat the Thunder by 20 in that game, right? So we're at the big board to talk about a big man, Janae, and the gravity that Victor provides here.
Okay, we're gonna do a checklist. This time we're splitting it, you know, Janae and Danny, here it is, both of us here. Okay, we're talking about Victor Wembanyama and his defensive impact. As Malika said, his gravity is through the roof, which led to them having a huge advantage in the regular season. The first thing that he applies is he is the ultimate deterrent. We have so many stats that are new. We're talking about the hell no's, DDJ, thank you. Because he deters so many people from coming to the rim. He can guard how many players, Danny? 1, 2, 3? At least 3 at the same time. This guy right here is a back-to-back MVP, and he says, respectfully, hell no, he's gonna dribble around, and it puts their offense in a really difficult situation. Because look, right here, you know, it's a short shot, then you're out of whack. This is one of the best teams that we've seen on both ends of the floor, but he starts with being a deterrent.
And the difference that he's able to do that other teams aren't able to do, he's also able to double, but recover from that double and get back to the rim and you know, I guess affect shots while he's doubling. Right here, as you see, they're trying to get Shea across screen here, get him in a position where they can't double. Shea knows he's gonna double team him, so they're trying to get in a position where they can't. Wemby does not care. I'm coming anyway.
That's the last person I want to see coming.
Up. You see a 7'5" guy, it's hard to get that ball out of there. Get a little panic mode, throw it away, turn over, they're out and running. They got so many wings and so many guards outside of Wemby, but that can recover when he doubles. So he's good at that.
The reason why we keep saying he's probably going to finish with the most defensive player of the year awards, not only can he deter, not only can he double, but he can also help and recover. We revise this to dig and recover.
Yeah, why not?
Because that's what we say on the floor as players. It's like, you got to go dig at the ball, but make sure you don't lose sight of your man. This is a perfect example of this. Wemby at 7'5", I don't know what that wingspan is, infinite. Here, he's digging, but because he's so tall, he can still recover with 1-2 shots. And look at how he closes the gap on the help and recover, the dig and recover. Honestly, this is how I felt when Brittany Griner was playing in the WNBA. I was like, what am I going to do? I need answers. Y'all actually have to deal with this.
Yeah, that's a sin, leaving the strong corner, but he is so lengthy that he can leave strong corner and recover back. Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Well, that's the triple D checklist if we're going with dig and recover there. Thank you guys so much for that. Let's get to a little bit more on this series as we check in with our Tim McMahon, Michael C. Wright, who are live. They're in Paycom Center ahead of this game 1. A big difference for OKC, right, is going to be the return of Jalen Williams, because it's been almost 4 weeks, Tim, since he last played. Have the Thunder given any thought, idea? Have they told you how they plan to use J-Dub tonight, Tim?
Howdy, Malika. What do you think? You think the Thunder suddenly have become like this team that wants to share their game plan? I saw Mark Daigneault in the parking lot, and I said, hey, man, is Dub starting tonight? And it's kind of like going to the basket against Victor Wembanyama. You know you're probably going to get rejected. Sometimes you try anyway. I got it swatted back in my face. This brilliant coach played dumb. Oh, gee whiz. I don't know. I guess we'll find out tonight. What I can tell you is Jalen Williams has started every game since early in his rookie season. Every time he came back from injury this year, he went right back into the starting lineup. Now, it's an interesting situation. AJ Mitchell is one of the stars of the second round.
Right.
Do you plug him back into that spot in the starting lineup, or do you go small like they did to open the NBA Finals and put as much playmaking in that starting lineup to try to move Victor Wembanyama around? Wemby is such a unique challenge to game plan against, and that's regardless of the circumstances, especially maybe tonight, though, when there's going to be an MVP trophy ceremony pregame.
Yeah.
They're going to hand that thing to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think we know Wemby well enough to know he'll probably look over there and say, you know what? That's my trophy. That should be in my hands. And I asked Shai about that, and he said, look, he's an extreme competitor. He's super confident in himself. He understands that Wemby might feel a certain way about it. But, you know, Shai, very respectful, says, he presents challenges unlike anything we've ever seen before. Everybody knows what to expect.
How diplomatic. Tim, maybe stop running up on coaches in parking lots. We appreciate the insight there. You brought up Wemby, though, so let's turn to the Spurs side of things with you, Michael C. Wright. De'Aaron Fox, he's questionable again. Is this a true questionable? Is there any concern over his availability here?
Malika, I got to tell you, I have never stared at a man's ankle so much in my life. I hope De'Aaron doesn't feel a certain kind of way about me after this morning. But did talk to De'Aaron Fox, and he said that he is going to try to test that ankle, just test it all day long. And he said what he's going to do is he's going to do his pregame a lot earlier than usual just to make sure. And speaking of De'Aaron, I mean, he was at the shoot-around, and it was a lively vibe this morning here at the Paycom Center. And all these guys, they are, you know, they're taking this, they're handling it very loose. They want to be loose because De'Aaron Fox said that if you go into this thing, we know what the stakes are, but if you go into this thing all tight, then the pressure of the game will get to you. And obviously the Spurs want to be applying the pressure, not feeling it.
The two of you are quite a pair, staring at ankles and running up in parking lots. Enjoy the game tonight. Let's hope y'all get there. We appreciate the time here on NBA Today. Coming up on our show, we got full reaction analysis. The Wolves' early exit. It's hard to believe that was only this weekend that happened. What roster moves can we expect to see in Minnesota? We've got the answer next on NBA Today. Staring at ankles.
Man.